The park in Brookhaven buzzed with everyday life, where families spread blankets for picnics and runners traced paths under leafy canopies. While birds chirped overhead in the midst of this tranquility, a woman named Sophia Reed sat on a weathered bench, her elegant frame relaxed as she flipped through a legal journal, her sharp mind absorbing case studies for her next courtroom battle as a prominent attorney. She cherished these rare breaks from the intensity of her profession, but the calm shattered when a police vehicle screeched to a halt nearby, drawing curious glances from passers-by. Two officers emerged, their postures rigid, eyes scanning the area before zeroing in on Sophia, the sole individual seated quietly in that section. "Ma'am, we need a word," one barked, his voice laced with unwarranted authority. Sophia looked up, her composure intact. "May I ask why?" she replied politely. Setting her journal aside, the second officer loomed closer. "We've had reports of loitering in this area. What's your purpose here?" "Loitering," Sophia echoed, her tone. "Even I'm simply enjoying the park. Is there an issue?" Their scrutiny intensified. "ID, please." The first demanded, hand extended expectantly. Sophia paused, aware of her rights. "I haven't done anything wrong," she stated calmly. But to de-escalate, she reached for her purse, producing her license. The officers examined it with exaggerated suspicion. "Sophia Reed, huh?" the second muttered, glancing at his partner. "You match a description. We've got mind explaining what you're really up to here." Sophia's patience thinned. "I don't appreciate the implication. I'm an attorney taking a moment to read. If that's suspicious, then perhaps you need better criteria." The officers exchanged looks, their discomfort turning to defensiveness. "Don't get attitude with us," the first snapped, stepping forward. "You're coming with us for questioning. On what grounds?" Sophia demanded, now standing, her voice firm. "I demand to know charges." The situation escalated rapidly as the first grabbed her arm. "You're resisting," he claimed. Though she hadn't moved an inch, the growing crowd murmured, some pulling out phones to record. "Stop resisting," he repeated louder for effect. Sophia's heart pounded, but she remained poised. "This is unlawful," she protested as cold handcuffs clicked around her wrists. The officers dragged her toward the cruiser, ignoring protests from onlookers. One bystander, a teenager, filmed the scene, capturing Sophia's dignified protest. "I'm innocent, this is a mistake," as the door slammed shut. Sophia sat in the back, her mind racing through legal precedents. She knew this wasn't random. The biased undertone was palpable at the station. The humiliation continued with invasive searches, fingerprints, and mugshots. Placed in a stock holding cell under glaring lights, she replayed the encounter, the officers' dismissive sneers, their quick leap to aggression. It reeked of unfair judgment. Hours later, a desk sergeant informed her of charges trespassing and disorderly conduct, baseless claims designed to justify the arrest. Sophia demanded her phone call, contacting her associate Liam, who arranged bail as she walked free into the night air. Her resolve hardened. Liam, waiting outside, expressed outrage. "This is outrageous," said, "We'll fight this." Sophia nodded, but her eyes burned with determination. "This isn't just about me, it's about exposing a pattern." The video from the park had already begun circulating online, sparking outrage and shares. Across social platforms, by morning local, news picked it up. Headlines reading, "Innocent woman detained in park," igniting debates on profiling. Sophia returned home, but sleep evaded her. She documented every detail, timestamps, interactions, witnesses, her legal training kicking in. She outlined a strategy not just to clear her name, but to sue for civil rights violations. The officer's actions screamed misconduct, and she had the tools to prove it. Community whispers grew neighbors, messaged support, sharing similar tales of unfair stops. One woman recounted being questioned while walking her dog simply for looking out of place. Sophia connected with activists organizing a virtual meeting to discuss next steps, her story resonating as a call to action. Meanwhile, the officers smug in their precinct dismissed the backlash as overreaction. "She'll drop it," one said to the other. They always do. Unaware of the storm brewing, Sophia's preparation intensified, gathering affidavits from witnesses, including the teenager whose video captured the unprovoked grab. She consulted experts on departmental policies, uncovering a history of complaints against the pair officers. Grant and Hayes, their records dotted with warnings for aggressive tactics, yet no real consequences. Her lawsuit took shape, alleging false arrest and unfair treatment. The filing made waves. The department issued a standard statement about internal review, but Sophia knew better. This was systemic. She attended support groups hearing from others who'd endured similar indignities, their stories fueling her fire. Liam assisted drafting motions while Sophia balanced her ongoing cases, refusing to let this derail her career. One evening, as rain tapped against her window, she reflected on her journey from law school dreamer to advocate. The arrest, though traumatic, had ignited a fiercer purpose. The city watched divided, some defending the officers as upholders of safety, others rallying for reform. Sophia's poise in the video became a symbol of strength, inspiring petitions for body camera mandates and training overhauls. As weeks passed, the lawsuit gained traction, a judge scheduling a preliminary hearing, but fate had more in store. An unrelated case landed on her docket, a misconduct hearing for the very officers who'd arrested her. The irony struck like lightning. Sophia stared at the assignment, her hands steady. "This changes everything," she whispered, ready to face the unexpected twist with unyielding integrity. The confrontation in the park had set the froze stage for a reckoning no one saw coming. As Sophia delved deeper into the implications of her dual role, she consulted ethics guidelines, ensuring no conflict arose, her impartiality paramount in both her lawsuit and the hearing. She scheduled meetings with her legal team, refining arguments for the civil suit, while separately reviewing the misconduct file. The delivery driver's account mirrored her own, an unprovoked escalation leading to unnecessary force. Sophia noted parallels but focused on evidence: dashcam footage, witness statements, medical reports, all pointing to a pattern of overreach. Community support surged, with online forums buzzing about her story. One thread titled "Standing Up to Unfair Authority" garnered thousands of views, sharing tips on documenting encounters. Sophia engaged thoughtfully, responding to questions and offering resources. Her influence extended to local schools, where she guest lectured on civil rights, inspiring students to question norms. One teen approached afterward, thanking her for showing that speaking up matters. The officers, unaware of the judicial assignment, continued their routine, but whispers of the lawsuit reached them. Grant confided in Hayes, "This could blow up if she pushes it." Hayes nodded, but their bravado masked growing unease. Department memos circulated, emphasizing protocol, a subtle admission of concern. Sophia's evenings blended work and reflection, journaling her thoughts on justice, how it often favored the powerful but could be reclaimed. Through persistence, Liam became a sounding board, debating strategies over coffee, his encouragement bolstering her. The preliminary hearing for her suit arrived. Sophia, in plaintiff mode, presented evidence, the video playing to a silent courtroom, the judge's nods, affirming her case, advancing it to trial. Satisfaction mixed with resolve as she prepared for the officer's hearing, reviewing precedents on disciplinary actions, her bench assignment, a twist of fate that amplified her commitment to fairness. Activists organized rallies outside the courthouse, signs reading demand accountability, waving in solidarity. Sophia addressed one gathering briefly, "This fight is ours together," her words igniting cheers. The media frenzy built profiles, portraying her as a beacon of resilience. She redirected praise to collective efforts. The officer's defense team scrambled upon learning of her judgeship, filing a motion for recusal, but lacking grounds it was denied. Sophia proceeded undaunted. The park, once a site of injustice, now hosted vigils, where people shared stories, fostering unity. Her story transcended personal grievance, becoming a catalyst for dialogue on equitable practices. As the hearing neared, Sophia meditated on balance, vowing to judge solely on merits. The reckoning loomed, a testament to perseverance in the face of adversity. Brookhaven, on the cusp of change, driven by one woman's unyielding pursuit of equity, the chapter of confrontation evolving into one of empowered anticipation, where voices united heralded a new era of accountability and mutual respect in the community's shared narrative of progress and healing. As the lawsuit against officers Grant and Hayes gained momentum, Sophia Reed immersed herself in a web of strategy and alliances. Her home office transformed into a command center, with walls pinned by timelines, witness statements, and policy documents. She collaborated with civil rights organizations, pooling resources to amplify her claims. One key ally, a veteran investigator named Carla, unearthed internal memos, revealing a pattern of overlooked complaints against the officers, cases dismissed with minimal scrutiny. Sophia pored over these late into the nights, her determination unshaken by anonymous calls, warning her to back off. She reported them tracing one to a burner phone linked to department sympathizers. Undeterred, she expanded her network, speaking at forums where survivors shared experiences of similar encounters, her voice steady as she detailed the psychological toll of such stops. The community response swelled with fundraisers supporting legal fees and awareness campaigns. A local artist designed posters featuring Sophia's image with captions demanding equity. The officers meanwhile mounted a defense, hiring a firm known for shielding law enforcement. They filed countersuits claiming defamation, but Sophia's evidence held firm, including expert analyses of the video showing no provocation on her part. Media interest peaked with interviews where she redirected focus to broader issues. This isn't isolated. It's a symptom of unchecked practices. She explained, her composure earning admiration even from skeptics. Carla's digs revealed budget allocations favoring aggressive tactics over community programs. Sophia used this in briefs, arguing for systemic overhaul. The department placed the officers on desk duty, a token gesture that fueled public outcry. As overreaction protests evolved into workshops on knowing rights, Sophia facilitated sessions teaching de-escalation and documentation, empowering attendees with tools for self-advocacy. One participant, a young professional, recounted a parallel incident, inspiring Sophia to connect him with resources. Her personal life intertwined with the fight. Liam became a confidant, sharing meals amid case reviews, while her family offered emotional anchors, reminding her of stakes beyond the courtroom. Threats escalated with a vandalized car, but Sophia installed security, refusing to retreat. Her team countered with a motion for discovery, compelling the department to release training records, exposing gaps in bias education. The preliminary hearing loomed. Sophia practiced arguments, honing her delivery to dismantle defenses on the stand. She faced cross-examination, remaining unflinched as the defense probed her motives. "This is about justice, not revenge," asserted the judge's nods, affirming her case, advancing it to trial. Amid this, the misconduct assignment weighed heavily. Sophia consulted ethics experts, confirming no conflict. If impartial, she prepared meticulously, reviewing the prior boxes. Unrelated excessive force complaint against the officers involving a delivery driver roughed up during a stop, parallels evident, but she focused on facts. Community leaders rallied, hosting town halls where Sophia moderated panels on reform proposals. Ideas flowed like mandatory audits and civilian review boards. Her influence grew, a petition garnering thousands for policy changes. The officers' anxiety mounted, leaks suggesting internal discord, with colleagues distancing themselves. Sophia's resolve deepened by letters from supporters, one from a retired judge praising her courage. As the hearing approached, she balanced dual roles, plaintiff and judge, a testament to her integrity. The build-up tested her limits but forged unbreakable alliances, the case no longer just hers, but a collective push for transformation. In Brookhaven's shadowed corridors of power, Sophia delved into archival records, unearthing precedents from similar suits across the state, adapting strategies to fortify her position. Carla's network introduced her to a whistleblower, a former dispatcher who provided logs of ignored calls for service in underrepresented areas, highlighting resource disparities. Sophia incorporated this data into amicus briefs, enlisting scholars to testify on societal impacts. Her evenings blended advocacy with self-care, journaling affirmations to maintain focus. Liam organized mock trials, sharpening her responses to potential pitfalls. The countersuit hearing revealed the officers' flimsy claims. The judge dismissed it, citing lack of merit, a victory that boosted morale among allies. Community art exhibits emerged, depicting themes of resilience inspired by her story. One mural on a downtown wall portrayed Sophia as a guardian of equity, drawing crowds and conversations. The Leeson and the Lie department responded with internal memos promoting sensitivity training, but Sophia critiqued them as superficial, demanding measurable outcomes. Her team analyzed bodycam policies, proposing mandatory activation and independent audits. Proposal gained traction with council members swayed by public pressure. Sophia testified at hearings, her eloquence turning skeptics into supporters. One counselor confided, "Your persistence is changing minds." The officers, isolated in their routines, faced growing scrutiny from peers, whispers of reassignment circulating. Grant confided doubts to a friend, questioning past methods, while Hayes doubled down on denial. Their legal team scrambled, filing appeals that delayed but didn't deter. Sophia's momentum ethics. Consultations reaffirmed her role in the hearing she prepared by simulating scenarios ensuring bias-free decisions. Community vigils lit candles for unity. Sophia attended one speaking softly about collective strength inspiring chants of progress. Now the lawsuit's discovery phase yielded emails exposing favoritism in promotions tied to arrest quotas. Sophia publicized anonymized excerpts sparking audits. The ripple effect reached neighboring towns, sharing resources. For joint initiatives, her story. Featured in podcasts reaching wider audiences, callers shared parallels, fostering a network of solidarity. Threats persisted with suspicious followers near her home. But Sophia varied routines, alerting trusted contacts. Her security measures paid off, deterring potential harm. Liam's research uncovered funding ties to private interests influencing policies. Sophia challenged them in op-eds. Gaining editorial support, the hearing's docket confirmed no recusal. Her preparation intensified, reviewing testimonies and legal standards. The build-up, a crucible forging her leadership. The case transcended litigation, becoming a beacon for reform in Brookhaven, where voices once muted now harmonized in pursuit of fair practices and enduring trust. The chapter of building unfolded as a tapestry of collaboration and tenacity, weaving a narrative of empowerment that resonated far beyond the community's borders. In the hushed courtroom, Sophia Reed ascended the bench, her robe a mantle of authority as officers Grant and Hayes entered, their faces ashen upon recognizing her. The hearing for their excessive force in the delivery driver incident commenced. Sophia's opening remarks set a tone of fairness. "This proceeding will adhere to evidence and law alone," she declared. The prosecutor outlined the case, presenting dashcam footage showing unprovoked aggression. The driver testified, voice steady, recounting the fear and bruises inflicted. Sophia interjected only for clarity, maintaining balance. The defense argued situational stress, but witnesses, including a bystander, corroborated the abuse. Cross-examinations revealed inconsistencies in the officers' accounts. Grant stammered under questioning while Hayes avoided eye contact. Sophia noted it all. Her rulings on objections precise. The session stretched, tensions palpable during breaks. The officers conferred with counsel, debating recusal, but grounds lacked. Sophia's impartiality unassailable. As closing arguments wrapped, she deliberated briefly, returning with a verdict finding misconduct. Proven, she imposed demotions, counseling, and oversight, rejecting leniency for patterns of behavior. The officers left, subdued, one muttering an apology. Sophia acknowledged it without warmth. "True accountability requires change," she stated. Post-ruling reforms accelerated. Sophia advocated for a task force implementing community-backed policies like enhanced training and reporting apps. The city adopted them. Incidents declining, trust rebuilding. She mentored emerging advocates, including the delivery driver who pursued studies in policy. Her legacy extended nationally with speaking engagements on ethical judging. Brookhaven transformed protests, giving way to partnerships. Sophia reflected on the park bench, now a site of annual unity events. The judgment, not an end but a foundation for enduring equity, where voices once silenced shaped the future of justice. Sophia's influence rippled outward, inspiring a wave of similar initiatives in surrounding areas where departments adopted her advocated models for transparency. One such program involved peer review circles where officers discussed real-time feedback from interactions, fostering a culture of continuous improvement. She collaborated with educators to integrate civics lessons on rights and responsibilities into school curricula, empowering youth to engage thoughtfully with civic duties. The delivery driver, now a vocal proponent, shared his story at conferences, turning personal adversity into a platform for dialogue. Grant, post-demotion, sought therapy, reflecting on his actions in private journals, acknowledging how unchecked habits had led to harm. He volunteered at community centers, facilitating workshops on conflict resolution, finding redemption in small acts of service. Hayes similarly pursued retraining, emerging with a renewed perspective on service over control. Both officers' journeys became case studies in reform literature, anonymized to protect privacy but illustrating potential for growth. Sophia's mentorship program paired seasoned professionals with newcomers, emphasizing empathy and ethical decision-making. One mentee, a young attorney inspired by her path, credited Sophia for guiding her through complex cases. Her office became a hub for collaborative brainstorming, where ideas on policy refinement flowed freely. Community festivals celebrated progress with booths on legal aid and interactive simulations of fair practices, drawing families to learn and connect. The park transformed into a symbol of resilience, hosting storytelling nights where residents shared experiences, building bonds across divides. Sophia often attended, listening intently, her presence a quiet reminder of perseverance. National recognition followed with awards for innovation, which she accepted on behalf of the collective, redirecting funds to scholarships for aspiring reformers. Lawsuit resolved with a settlement, funding department upgrades, and victim support programs, a victory that underscored negotiation over confrontation. Brookhaven's crime rates stabilized not through force but through strengthened relationships as trust grew. Reports of minor issues increased, allowing proactive resolutions. Sophia authored a book on judicial ethics, weaving her experiences into lessons for practitioners. The publication sparked book clubs and seminars, fostering deeper discussions on integrity in public service. Her family proud hosted gatherings where stories of impact were shared, laughter mingling with reflections on challenges overcome. The officers, now in supportive roles, contributed to training modules, drawing from lessons learned, their transformations humanizing the narrative of change. One evening, under starlit skies, Sophia walked the park paths, contemplating the legacy, not of individual triumph, but of communal evolution. The bench where it began now bore a plaque, honoring resilience, inviting passers-by to pause and reflect. Annual reports highlighted metrics of improvement, reduced complaints, higher satisfaction surveys, affirming the path forward. Sophia's speaking tours extended internationally, sharing frameworks adaptable to diverse contexts, inspiring global dialogues on equitable systems. Back home, youth-led initiatives flourished, with clubs debating policy and volunteering at legal clinics, nurturing a generation committed to fairness. The BMESation department's annual review incorporated public input, ensuring ongoing accountability. Sophia stepped back from the spotlight, empowering others to lead, while she focused on quieter pursuits like pro bono work for underserved communities. The ripple of her actions touched lives far and wide. A single mother's complaint resolved swiftly. A student's aspiration ignited. The judgment's legacy endured, not in headlines but in the everyday harmony of a city reborn through collective will and unwavering commitment to principles of justice and mutual respect, where every voice mattered and progress was a shared endeavor, echoing eternally in the hearts of those who dared to envision a better tomorrow.